Hello everybody and welcome to the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games here in Carson, California. Athletes started wandering in for event number 2 just a short time ago. Some former champs, Annie Thorsdottir, Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet, and a host of other talented men and women will be throwing down for the title Fittest on Earth. I am your host, Pat Sherwood, being joined at the desk by the 2008 Fittest Woman on Earth, Caity Henniger, and Tommy Marquez. And we do this every year, but this year some faces we've grown accustomed to aren't competing as individuals.
Yeah, some big names, specifically Rich Froning, Jason Khalipa, Tommy Hackenbrook, 3 guys who were in the top 4 last year gone on the men's side, so there's some real opportunity for some of these up-and-comers on the men's side to seize and maybe finish on top of the podium.
Yeah, an opportunity, but a lot of pressure added. We expect Rich Froning and Jason Khalipa to be up near the podium or on the podium, but you know, that adds pressure to all these guys chasing for that. But for the women, you got Cara Webb, you got Sam Briggs, Annie Thorsdottir, and of course the reigning champ Camille. It's going to be a great weekend.
And we've got plenty of events left, but it started today for the women out at Hermosa Beach with event number 1, which we are calling the Pier Paddle. That was a 500-meter swim, followed by 2 miles on a paddleboard, and then another 500-meter swim to finish it off. And we had Anna Tunnicliffe, Cara Webb, and Sammy Wood all battling it out initially. Tunnicliffe, very experienced in the water, gold medalist from the Olympics, falling off her board there, and then keeping pace with Cara Webb. All 3 women, Tunnicliffe, Webb, and Wood, 2 out of 3 of them being Australians, made it to the beach simultaneously, and Sammy Wood looked good, but once it turned back into the water for that final 500-meter swim, it was all Cara Webb. And at the end of event number 1, Amanda Krenz caught up with the winner.
You had some time to practice with the paddleboard yesterday. What did you learn in that amount of time?
We kind of had a little bit of a play around just to get a feel for the balance point of the board. I'd never been on a board like that before. I really haven't been on a board, any board much in my life, so it was just trying to get a little bit of a feel for it, and I guess, yeah, find that balance point, find what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. As much as I would have liked to have been on my knees, that just wasn't in my wheelhouse. It wasn't something that I could manage without falling on and off all the time, so I just tried to make the best of what I could do, and tried to apply that today.
And there was a lot of pressure or hype about Cara Webb. How would she be after getting injured last year? And now we see after event 1, sitting in the top spot on the leaderboard, followed by a bunch of other big names. Michelle Latundra in 2nd place, China Cho, former collegiate swimmer, in 3rd, and then the remainder of the top 12 are just becoming household names, to include some veterans that I know caught your attention, Tommy.
Yeah, my top story coming out of this event is none other than Sam Briggs. It was absolutely crucial for her to have a strong start at the beach this morning. The last 2 years we've seen her at the games. This very first event, the swim event, has really set the tone for her weekend. Back in 2011, she finished 2nd at the beach. She went on to take 4th overall. Then in 2013, she finished 4th in the swim event at the pool and went on to win. And really, with all the drama surrounding not qualifying last year, and then all the talk about her injuries, her back during the Open and her foot during regionals, I think it's great for her to be back at the games competing and to have a top 10 finish to start the week.
And who caught your eye?
Sarah Sigmundsdottir. She's a rookie, but she's had a lot of hype. 3rd in the World Wide Open, 1st in her region. You guys have been talking about her on the show. But I think for her to come out in the first event, get a top 10 finish with her 8th place, I think that sets her up confidence-wise to just go through the rest of the weekend.
Now, we were chatting about another rookie, Brooke Wells, a lot. She actually got injured on event number 1, posted about it on social media. This was your 1st place finish from the Central Regional, and she said she actually fractured her toe during the event. But however, I think we're going to see her to continue to push through. I mean, heck, we saw Sam Briggs compete at regionals with a broken foot, and I think she's going to be able to dig deep. The men also started the day out in Hermosa Beach doing the exact same event as the women, and the story there was kind of similar to what happened last year. Yana Koski and Con Porter, 2 individuals very competent in the water, one European, one from Australia, next to each other on the paddleboard, where Con had the advantage. Little friendly international trash talking going on there. My country's better than yours, that kind of normal stuff. However, while they were pretty evenly matched there, the crux of the event really was after they finished, put the paddleboard away, and then headed back out around the buoy for that final 500-meter swim. And once that occurred, no one could touch the young rookie, Yana Caity. And after one event, your men's leaderboard looks like this. Caity in the lead with 100 points, the Australian, Con Porter in second. Noah Olsen, who we've chatted about a lot, taking up third place, followed by McKay and Gerard. So 3 out of the top 5 happen to be Australians, but somebody in that top 5, Tommy, we've been talking about a lot.
Yeah, one in particular is Noah Olsen, and I absolutely love the sprint finish between him and Chad McKay. What better way to start your weekend with that sprint finish? First event in, 45 minutes into that workout, and really they're just fighting for every little inch, and in the end, Noah edges out McKay for the third place overall in that workout, and I think that's great for Noah. That's the kind of effort you want to see from a guy who has plans to make it onto the podium and eventually win the CrossFit Games.
Now, somebody that we didn't see compete last year actually caught your eye.
Yeah, and I think it's a CrossFit Games veteran, Spencer Hendel. We haven't seen him the last 2 years here, and to come out the first event back in the water, hasn't had the chance to go out around the pier, comes in 9th. I think for him, confidence-wise, sets himself up really well for tonight in the sandbag event, because I think he's going to do really well in that event as well.
Not only did the individuals start on the beach, but the teams as well. The team started with something we're calling the water worm out there at Hermosa Beach. Here's what it entailed. 75 worm deadlifts, 500-yard swim with a rescue sled, back on the land for more deads, another 500-yard swim, and then 25 more worm deadlifts. And it was chaos in the water out there with the teams, everyone having to maintain contact with that rescue sled the entire time. But the standout of the morning was CrossFit Athletic winning the event by over 1 minute and showing why they are such a veteran team. And after one event of competition, your team's leaderboard shakes out with Athletic in top, followed by Bound, Solid, Plateau, and Fabrican. Now, a lot of lead up to this was Invictus and Mayhem and NorCal, and thus far Invictus letting the other teams know, like, hey, we're the real deal. But what caught your eye was kind of some unsportsmanlike conduct, maybe?
I would say unsportsmanlike, but something we're not used to seeing in this type of competition. And that was the absolute carnage that was going on in the water to start this event. Teams like NorCal Youth just fighting for position in the water, practically on top of each other when they were swimming. And I think that's indicative of what we're going to see from the team competition this year. Knockdown, drag-out type competition to see who's going to win.
Now, well, that was fun to watch. It potentially wasn't the smartest strategy.
Yeah, very fun to watch, and I think we all want that battle between the teams, but I think what you saw in the water with the big clump of a couple teams was detrimental to them. It took a lot of energy, and you know, the smart teams, Invictus, CrossFit Solid, they went on the outside, and they actually separated themselves in Heat 3, and I think for Invictus, reigning champs, a lot of trash talk going on, they came out and made a statement in this first event.
And we've seen that rescue sled before, slightly different, and we're actually about to see something that we've seen in the past, but with a new twist for 2015, and that is event number 2 for the individuals, the sandbag event. And this is going to be an absolute grind. For the women, it looks like this. They have to move 800 pounds of sandbags across the stadium in a 15-minute time cap, and the gentlemen are going to get hit with even more weight, 1,000 pounds. I mean, we all remember back when this happened, what it was like, and sometimes the equipment even couldn't handle all the weight, but I think we've taken care of that.
Yeah, I think in 2010 we went to Home Depot and bought some wheelbarrows and put them together, and some of them stayed together, some of them didn't, but you know, whenever there's a revisit to a workout, here at Rogue, we try to make it bigger, better, maybe heavier for this wheelbarrow. It's got knurled handles, just like a barbell, so the athletes can actually have a better grip because it weighs 250 pounds. So add the sandbags on top of that. I mean, the athletes are really going to have to concentrate unless they want to try and be the hero.
It's not built for just casual gardening, what you're telling
Exactly.
me. Now, talking about it's one thing, but Tommy Marquez has actually volunteered, or maybe he was voluntold, he's going to get his hands on those sandbags and load it up and kind of walk us through how he's feeling.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to resist the urge to throw these smaller ones in first.
Now, you can't be moving that slow during the event.
No, of course not. But then again, I'm not a games athlete, so It kind of feels like a game of Tetris here with these sandbags, but I don't feel too bad. But then again, this is only this is only a fraction of the weight that they're going to use. No, I'm not going to dump that. But that's definitely not as stable as I thought. I like the knurling, but man, I have a feeling someone's going to get the speed wobbles there and dump their wheelbarrow.
And also just a fraction of the loading that they're going to have to deal with. There's no walls we're throwing them over. There's not the heat of the competition.
No.
We've seen this before. What's a smart strategy here?
Well, the smart strategy is to try not to be the hero, I think. Just like Tommy was doing, making sure you're loading the wheelbarrow correctly and not filling it all the way to the top. We saw Matt Chan and Jason Khalipa in 2010 load every sandbag there was, get to the middle of the court, and dump the entire thing, and waste precious minutes like loading it back up. So I think play it safe, get to the other side, get it over the wall.
And now you're one of the few human beings with real-world experience here. What do you think is going to be smart?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't as stable as I thought. And I think what she talked about, paying attention to the little things, not kind of rushing a little bit, making sure those sandbags are secure, that the wheelbarrow itself is balanced. Because I only went a few feet there, but even then within the first couple steps, it's easily to kind of get off balance. And the minute that thing starts wobbling, it's only a matter of time before it goes over.
Somebody is inevitably going to tip it over, and it's going to be tragic for them. Very entertaining for us to watch at home. And hey, if they hustle, put it back in, they're not out of the race. Time to earn your money, okay? Women's event coming up here shortly. We have some historical data to go on. We have some exciting rookies. Who's your pick?
I don't even have to hesitate. Annie Thorsdottir.
Just like that.
She won in 2010. I think her height and her strength, I think is really going to help her tonight. I think with that combination of experience, she takes it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. She won that event back in 2010, but my pick is another girl who's spent some time overseas, and that's Sam Briggs. She's one of only 6 athletes in this field on the women's side who's actually done this workout before. And, she's a former firefighter, so she's quite familiar with those gritty kind of odd object type workouts that she excels in all the time. And I think she's going to have to press a little bit here. This workout and Murph going ahead look good for her, but then you have the speed snatch, so that's not necessarily her jam, so she's got to make up some points here. I think she's going to push the pedal.
I mean, just remember seeing how devastating this workout was all those years ago, and now not only more sandbags, more weight, and the actual wheelbarrow weighs some unspecified amount.
250 pounds.
250 pounds. You heard it here first. All right, the guys are going to get out there and tackle this event with 1,000 pounds. Tommy, who do you like?
For me, it's a veteran guy who prides himself in the unknown and unknowable, and that's Ben Smith. He's a guy that he likes it when we don't announce workouts because he feels like he can just step up to the plate better than some of those other guys. He didn't practice the regional events, and he still managed to qualify for the games. But now we have a workout in an instance where he actually has more experience than anyone in the field, save a handful of competitors that are returning. And if you give Ben Smith more experience, other field kind of stepping in the dark, I'll take that 10 times out of 10.
And I'm going to take a guy with the same amount of experience with Chad McKay. I think
solid pick.
With his strength, and again, like Annie, having the height to get the sandbags over the wall. The wheelbarrow is just one part of this. They have to get the sandbags up and over the wall to finish this event.
This is going to be fantastic. Anyone could take it. The sandbag event is coming up very shortly. Once we're all done with that, come back and join us. Both Tommy, Caity, and I will be back on the desk for another live Day at the Games show.